who lived in a shoe. Kansas, 1874. I kicked a clod of dirt with the toe of my new boots. Well, I thought of them as new anyhow. We'd bought them off a peddler, and they'd been worn plenty before. But I'd only had them a week, and I was still proud of them. Boots like Uncle Matthew's tall cavalry-style boots, not plain old shoes. The dirt clod didn't go anywhere when I kicked it. It was so dry that it exploded instead, looking to me like the tiniest cannon shells scattering dust in all directions. "Levi, stop it!" squealed my youngest sister Lily, brushing dirt off her skirt. Seemed to me like she squealed at everything lately, and I was thoroughly sick of the sound. "Levi, stop it!" I mimicked. Then I rolled my eyes and muttered, "Girls." "Hey now, enough. They'll be here soon." Uncle Matthew stared up the tracks again like he could draw the train into view by watching for it. The rails stretched off in twin straight lines across the gently rolling Kansas landscape, dipping down out of sight a couple of miles away. He looked tired. He always looked tired, those days. Spring had been long and hard, what with all the plowing and planting, but it wasn't just the strain of getting our seed wheat in the ground, I knew. It was us kids. He worried about us, and we wearied him. I could see that much clearer when I look back now. The squint lines around his eyes had sunk deeper over the year we'd been living with him. At the time, I did at least have sense enough to recognize that going from being a bachelor farmer to the sole guardian of 7 youngsters all at once couldn't have been easy. But most of the time, I didn't think about that. I preferred to dwell on the weighty troubles of my own 15-year-old life, like how annoying my sisters could be, or what to teach my new dog Ulysses next. Suddenly, Uncle Matthew straightened. "Finally." He pulled off his hat to smooth down his hair. Jacob had tried to give him a haircut once, almost a year ago, but Uncle Matthew hadn't asked him for that same favor twice. Now his hair brushed his collar. Soon it would be down to his shoulders, like some mountain man on the cover of a dime novel. At least he was wearing the nice brown shirt we kids had gotten him for Christmas. That shirt made him look downright civilized, he always said. I squinted against the harsh afternoon sunlight, but I couldn't see anything coming down that track. Couldn't hear anything either. "Really?" "Really." "How can you tell?" "Feel the ground." Uncle Matthew pointed to the dust under our boots. "Big train shakes the earth up. You can feel it if you pay attention." He pointed at the train tracks. "You can hear it through the rails, too." He looked at me quickly. "Don't try that, though. No listening for trains. Don't give the little ones any ideas." "Yes, sir." I tucked this knowledge away for some later time when my smallest cousins weren't around. I wondered how he'd learned all that, but I knew that if I asked, he'd just shrug and say he'd been around. I'd heard a few things about soldiers attacking and defending trains during the war, but if my uncle had any stories like that, he wasn't sharing them. Just the same as everything else about his time in the Union cavalry with my pa, and with the man coming in on the train. Then we heard a long whistle wailing down the line, followed close by the engine's snorting roar. A cloud of smoke and steam blew into view. Finally, we could see the engine topping the rise in the distance. The train rattled its way toward us, brakes squealing as the engineer fought gravity and momentum to stop the train. The engine rushed past, then its coal tender, an empty flatbed, and 2 livestock cars. Finally, the train stopped with the final whoosh of steam, its lone passenger car directly in front of the little station, with the caboose right behind it. I found myself growing shy. Uncle Matthew had only told us the name of his old cavalry friend who was stopping over with us, and bringing his wife and kids, along with his wife's sister. All Uncle Matthew really said was that he would always have a place for this Mr. Jones to stay if he needed it, and that went for his kinfolk as well.